Kelly Bensimon's relationship with Robert Flood uncertain after PDA with his ex. Kelly Bensimon is rethinking her relationship with financier Robert Flood after he was spotted kissing his ex-fiancée. The former Real Housewives of New York star was getting ready to strut the runway in the Melissa Autobash show in Miami when DMs started flooding in. "I was in hair and makeup and my DMs started going off," Bensimon told Us Weekly. "A woman I know said, 'I saw your boyfriend in my hometown making out with some woman.'" At first, Bensimon, 57, didn't think much of it, and Flood even came to join her in Miami. But the DMs didn't stop. Bensimon's friend broke it to her that the woman she'd seen was Flood's former fiancée and their PDA was more than just a peck on the lips. Bensimon confronted her kissing bandit boyfriend, telling him they should both date other people for a while. "I was just sad, genuinely sad for all of us," she explained. "It's hard for me to trust and to feel safe. So I put Robert in short-term parking." Bensimon was married to famed photographer Giles Bensimon from 1997 until 2007, and they share two daughters, C and Thaddeus. In June of 2024, the former model called off her engagement to Scott Littner just days before their nuptials. Later that year, Bensimon revealed she connected with a man on the dating app Raya, who turned out to be dating her former RHONY cast member Bethany Frankel. And it was on another dating app, Hinge, that Bensimon met Flood. But now Bensimon is questioning whether the apps are worth the trouble. "Is Hinge looking for love in all the wrong places?" she mused. "Are these dating apps what they say they are?" She told Us Weekly that currently she is on pause when it comes to dating apps, but she has figured out what she's looking for in a partner: consistency, kindness, good man, strong moral compass, make me feel safe. In the wake of the drama with Flood, Bensimon has turned to several of her RHONY friends for support. She said she'd been texting with Jill Zarin, who asked about her dating life. "I'm like, I date guys that cheat on me, and then I date guys that have also gone out with Bethany Frankel. It just doesn't end." Her buddy Luan de Lesseps shared some very Luan-esque advice. "She tells me, 'Darling, why don't you have a little more fun?' She tells me to date everybody," Bensimon revealed. But Bensimon couldn't help but wonder if her Real Housewives past had something to do with her dating troubles. "Do I have the housewives curse?" she said. "I was a scapegoat on Housewives. I am the scapegoat in my personal life." In the glimmering, ever-volatile universe of Hamptons brunches, Bravo-celebrity feuds, and tabloid whispers, few names know how to stir the pot quite like Real Housewives of New York City alum Kelly "Killerin" Bensimon. But the former model and socialite finds herself caught in a romantic riptide that even she couldn't have predicted, especially after a jaw-dropping sighting of her fiancé Robert Flood getting a little too cozy with his ex, and in public, no less. The relationship that once seemed like a modern fairy tale of second chances and high society glam has now hit a dramatic, and possibly irreversible, detour. Bensimon and Flood, a prominent financier known for keeping a low profile despite his 8-figure net worth, were planning a lavish wedding rumored to take place in early fall. But sources close to the couple reveal that the brakes might now be slammed hard on those plans. The drama ignited like a fireworks show in Montauk last weekend when Robert Flood was spotted locking lips with his ex-wife, Charlotte Harrow, outside a beachfront estate during a fundraising gala. Onlookers were stunned, not just because of the very public nature of the kiss, but because Charlotte was reportedly the last person Kelly wanted anywhere near her man. She was devastated, says one insider close to Kelly. She had absolutely no idea Robert was even speaking to Charlotte, let alone embracing her like that. It was a slap in the face. The incident, captured by an eagle-eyed partygoer on a smartphone, spread across social media like wildfire. In the blurry yet unmistakable footage, Robert is seen leaning in toward Charlotte as she laughs and lightly touches his chest, a familiar kind of touch that spoke volumes. Moments later, their lips met briefly but intimately before Charlotte, prompting both fan theories and hot takes across the Real Housewives fandom. Was this just a friendly moment misconstrued, or a damning sign that Flood's heart might still be tethered to the past. So far, Kelly has remained characteristically elusive. She hasn't addressed the video directly, but she has scrubbed several recent photos of her and Robert from her Instagram grid. A cryptic story post followed shortly after the PDA scandal broke. A black screen with white text that read, "Never ignore the red flags," even when they're wrapped in tuxedos. For someone like Kelly, whose public image is equal parts glamour, chaos, and unfiltered honesty, the silence speaks volumes. But insiders suggest that behind closed doors, the scene is far more dramatic than the muted social media response would suggest. There was a huge blow-up, another source dishes. She confronted Robert as soon as the clip surfaced. He tried to play it off as an innocent moment, saying Charlotte was just being overly affectionate. But Kelly wasn't buying it. Those close to Flood, however, claim the story isn't so cut and dry. One friend of Robert's claims that Charlotte has been lurking in the background of his life for months, using their children's shared custody as a way to stay connected. "There's always been unfinished business there," the friend explains. "I don't think Robert ever fully closed that door." Which begs the question, where does this leave Kelly? Once lauded for finding real love after years of being single and occasionally chaotic in the dating world, Kelly had recently shared glowing remarks about her engagement. In a spring interview with Town and Country, she described Robert as "my anchor," gushing about how they balance each other out. Now it seems that very balance may have toppled. Fans are divided. Some support Kelly walking away entirely, insisting she deserves better after what appears to be a betrayal. Others, though, wonder if the pair might work through this, and whether the pressure of being constantly under the public microscope is partly to blame. "She's in a really conflicted place," says a mutual friend. "Part of her wants to forgive him, but another part of her can't help but think this might just be who he is." There's also the issue of the wedding itself. Kelly and Robert were reportedly planning a European destination ceremony followed by a New York reception, complete with an A-list guest list, signature cocktails named after their dogs, and a custom gown by Marquesa. Now, all those plans are hanging in limbo. Interestingly, Charlotte Harrow has remained mum throughout the entire scandal. The art dealer and former socialite, who divorced Flood nearly a decade ago, has neither confirmed nor denied the nature of her reunion with her ex-husband. Her last Instagram post, however, was a not-so-subtle photo of her sipping rosé with the caption, "Sometimes the past just knows you better." Ouch. In the whirlwind of speculation, PR damage control, and Bravo-fueled theories, one thing is clear. Kelly Bensimon is once again at the center of a storyline juicier than any Housewives reunion episode. Whether she chooses to walk away with her head held high, or give Robert a second chance, remains to be seen. But if there's one thing longtime fans know about Kelly, it's that she doesn't do anything halfway. Whatever she decides, a close confidant concludes, it'll be on her terms. Kelly's always been her own force of nature, and she's not about to let anyone write her ending for her. As the summer sizzles on in the Hamptons and the social circuits continue to buzz, all eyes remain fixed on Kelly. Will she forgive and rekindle? Or will this chapter end in another very public breakup, complete with stilettos, tears, and one hell of a PR rebound? Stay tuned. This love story just got a major rewrite.